I want you to cast aside all preconceived notions about achievement, success, and fulfillment. For tonight we shall explore a truth so fundamental, yet so often overlooked, that it has the power to completely reshape your existence. Consider for a moment the energy you expend in chasing after your desires, the constant striving, the endless pursuit, the relentless push towards what you believe will bring you happiness. This chase, my dear listeners, is the very thing keeping you from your desires. It is a game you can never win, for in the act of chasing, you affirm the absence of what you seek. But I say unto you, there's another way, a way that aligns with the very fabric of creation, a way that harnesses the power of your imagination and the law of assumption. This way is not about chasing, but about becoming. It is not about doing, but about being. When you chase after something, you are operating from a state of lack. You are telling the universe, I do not have this, and so I must pursue it. But the universe, in its infinite wisdom, does not respond to your actions. It responds to your state of being, to the assumptions you hold about yourself and your world. Imagine, if you will, a man who desperately wants to be wealthy. He chases after money, working long hours, constantly worrying about his finances, always seeking the next opportunity to increase his wealth. This man, despite his efforts, finds that wealth eludes him. Why? Because in his relentless pursuit, he is affirming his current state of lack. He is living from the assumption that he does not have wealth. And so the universe faithfully reflects this assumption back to him. Now consider another man. This man, rather than chasing wealth, assumes the state of wealth. He lives from the end, feeling the naturalness of being wealthy. He does not pursue money, for it is mine. He already has it. His actions flow not from a place of lack, but from a place of abundance. And lo and behold, opportunities for wealth begin to present themselves to him, seemingly out of nowhere. This, my friends, is the power of letting it come to you. It is not about inaction, but about inspired action. It is about aligning your inner state with your desired outcome, and then allowing the universe to orchestrate the means. But how, you may ask, does one make this shift? How does one stop the chase and start the allowing? The answer lies in the power of your wonderful human imagination. For your imagination is not a mere fantasy maker. It is the very workshop in which reality is forged. When you imagine yourself in the state of your wish fulfilled, when you assume the feeling of your desire realized, you are not engaging in idle daydreaming. You are engaging in the most powerful creative act known to man. You are impressing upon your subconscious mind a new concept of self, a new assumption about your reality. Let us take a moment to truly understand this. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience in the outer world. It accepts as true whatever you feel to be true. And once it accepts an idea as true, it proceeds to bring it into manifestation in your physical reality. So when you stop chasing and instead assume the state of already having what you desire, you are not being passive. You are actively creating your reality from within. You are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe, allowing it to work through you and for you. This, my dear listeners, is the essence of Let It Come to You. It is about recognizing that what you seek is already within you, waiting to be expressed. It is about understanding that the outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner assumptions. Consider the biblical phrase, before they call, I will answer. This is not about some external deity responding to your prayers. It is about the creative power within you, which knows your desires even before you consciously formulate them. When you align yourself with this power, When you live from the assumption of your wish fulfilled, you allow this inner wisdom to guide you towards the manifestation of your desires. But let me be clear, this is not about sitting idly and waiting for things to magically appear in your life. It is about a fundamental shift in consciousness. When you truly embody the state of your wish fulfilled, your actions naturally align with that state. You begin to think, speak, and act from the perspective of already being or having what you desire. Let us explore this further with an example. Imagine a woman who desires a loving relationship. In the old paradigm of chasing, she might frantically go on dates, constantly worry about her appearance, and obsess over finding the one. But in doing so, she is affirming her current state of being single and searching. Now imagine this same woman shifting her approach. Instead of chasing a relationship, she assumes the state of being in a loving partnership. She feels the joy, the security, the companionship in her imagination. She lives each day from this assumption, carrying herself with the confidence and contentment of someone who is deeply loved. In this state, she no longer desperately seeks a partner. She may still go on dates, but she does so from a place of fullness rather than lack. And in doing so, she becomes magnetic to the very love she desires. She allows it to come to her, drawn by the power of her assumption and the clarity of her vibration. This principle applies to every area of your life, my friends. Whether you seek wealth, health, success, or any other desire, the key is to stop chasing and start embodying. For what you are seeking is also seeking you, but it can only find you when you align yourself with its frequency. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, isn't this just positive thinking? Isn't this denial of my current reality? And to this I say emphatically no. This is not about denying your current circumstances. It is about understanding the true nature of reality. Your current circumstances are nothing more than the fruit of your past assumptions and beliefs. They have no power to determine your future unless you give them that power by continuing to focus on them. When you shift your focus, when you assume a new state, you are not denying reality. You are exercising your divine right to choose which reality you wish to experience. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no life of its own. It is your consciousness that gives life to your experiences. When you chase after things in the outer world, you are chasing shadows, reflections of past states of consciousness. But when you change your consciousness, when you assume a new state, you cause the outer world to rearrange itself to match your new assumption. This, my dear friends, is the true secret of effortless manifestation. It is about aligning yourself with the law of assumption, recognizing that what you seek is seeking you, and allowing it to flow into your experience through the power of your imagination and belief. But let me warn you, this is not always an easy path. The old habits of chasing, of striving, of efforting are deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness. As you embark on this new way of being, you may find resistance arising within you. Doubts may creep in, old patterns may try to reassert themselves. When this happens, do not fight against these thoughts and feelings. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently return to your new assumption. For the war is not won by battling against what you don't want, but by persistently embodying what you do want. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're trying to listen to a particular station, you don't focus on eliminating all the other stations. You simply tune into the frequency you desire. In the same way, you don't need to fight against your current reality or forcefully push away unwanted circumstances. You simply need to tune yourself to the frequency of your desire, to align yourself with the state of your wish fulfilled. This aligning, this tuning is done through your imagination. Your imagination is the dial that allows you to tune into different frequencies of experience. As you use your imagination to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are tuning yourself to that frequency, allowing the corresponding experiences to flow into your life. But remember, my friends, this is not a one-time event. It is a way of life. Just as you wouldn't expect to stay in shape by exercising once, you cannot expect to manifest its desires by imagining once. This is about persistently assuming the state of your wish fulfilled, about living from that state day in and day out, until it becomes your new normal. As you do this, you will find that the very concept of chasing begins to fade from your consciousness. For how can you chase what you already are? How can you pursue what you already have? This shift in perception is the key to allowing your desires to flow effortlessly into your experience. Now, some of you may be wondering, but what about action? Don't we need to do something to bring our desires into manifestation? And to this I say, yes, action is part of the process, but it is inspired action, not frantic doing. When you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, you will find that ideas and opportunities naturally present themselves to you. You will be inspired to take certain actions, to move in certain directions, but these actions will not feel like effort or struggle. They will feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. This is the difference between chasing and allowing. When you're chasing, actions feel forced, stressful, born out of fear and lack. When you're allowing, actions flow naturally from your assumed state, guided by an inner wisdom that knows exactly how to bring your desires into manifestation. Consider the example of a tree. A tree does not chase after sunlight, water, or nutrients. It simply grows, naturally extending its branches towards the sun, its roots towards water and nutrients. It allows these elements to come to it, and in doing so, it fulfills its nature and purpose. You, my dear listeners, are no different. You are a divine creature, imbued with the same creative power that brings forth worlds. When you align yourself with this power, when you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you allow the universe to bring to you all that you need for the manifestation of your desires. But let me be clear, this allowing is not passive. It requires an active use of your imagination, a deliberate assumption of the state of your wish fulfilled. It requires faith, not blind faith in an external power, but faith in the creative power of your own consciousness. This faith is not about believing that your desire will manifest someday in the future. It is about believing that your desire is already yours in the realm of imagination, and that the outer world must inevitably conform to this inner reality. As you cultivate this faith, as you persist in your assumption, you will begin to see signs of your desire manifesting in your outer world. These signs may start small, an overheard conversation that confirms your assumption, an unexpected opportunity that aligns with your desire, a shift in how others respond to you. Do not discount these signs, no matter how small they may seem, for they are confirmation that your inner world is indeed shaping your outer reality. They are breadcrumbs leading you to the full manifestation of your desire. As you notice these signs, allow them to strengthen your faith. Let them be evidence that the law is working, that your assumption is taking root in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. But do not become attached to these signs or anxiously look for them. Simply acknowledge them with gratitude and continue to live from your assumed state. Remember, the manifestation of your desire is not the goal. The goal is the state of consciousness from which your desire naturally flows. When you truly embody the state of your wish fulfilled, you no longer need the outer manifestation to feel complete. You are already whole, already fulfilled in your imagination. This is the paradox of manifestation. When you no longer need something to feel complete, when you are already living from the state of fulfillment, that is when your desires flow most easily into your experience. So, my dear friends, I urge you to stop the chase. Stop pursuing, stop striving, stop efforting. Instead, turn within. Use your mighty imagination to assume the state of your wish fulfilled. Feel the naturalness of being or having what you desire. Live from this state, persist in this assumption, and watch as the universe rearranges itself to match your inner vision. Remember, you are not a helpless being pushed around by external circumstances. You are the operant power in your world. Your consciousness is the one and only reality. All things are possible to him who believes, for belief shapes reality. As we near the end of our time together, I want to address a question that may be arising in some of your minds. Neville, you might be thinking, this all sounds wonderful, but what if I've been chasing my desire for so long that I don't know how to stop? What if the habit of pursuit is so ingrained that I can't seem to let go? To this I say, fear not, for the power to change is always available to you, in this and every moment. The past has no power over you, except that which you give it through your continued attention. Your power lies in the present moment, in your ability to choose your thoughts and assumptions right now. If you find yourself slipping back into the habit of chasing, simply pause. Take a deep breath and remind yourself of this truth. What you are seeking is also seeking you. It is not something outside of you that needs to be pursued. It is a state of consciousness that you can assume right now. In that moment of pause, use your imagination to step into the feeling of your wish fulfilled. What would it feel like to already have what you desire? How would you move through your day? How would you interact with others? Immerse yourself in these feelings. Let them permeate your being. This practice of conscious assumption may feel strange at first, especially if you've been in the habit of chasing for a long time. But with persistence, it will become more natural. You will find yourself automatically shifting into the state of your wish fulfilled, allowing your desires to flow to you with ease and grace. Remember, my friends, this is not about forcing yourself to feel something you don't. It's about recognizing that the feeling of fulfillment is already within you, waiting to be acknowledged and expressed. You are not creating something new. You are simply tuning into a frequency that already exists. As you make this shift from chasing to allowing, you may find that your entire perspective on life begins to change. Things that once seemed important may lose their urgency. Pursuits that once consumed your energy may fall away naturally. For when you are living from the state of fulfillment, when you are aligned with your true desires, life becomes less about getting and more about being. This shift is the true gift of letting go of the chase. It's not just about manifesting specific desires, although that will happen. It's about aligning yourself with the flow of life, with the creative power of the universe. It's about recognizing your own divine nature and allowing it to express itself fully through you. In this state of alignment, of allowing, you become a channel for the infinite possibilities of the universe. Ideas flow to you effortlessly. Opportunities present themselves naturally. The right people and circumstances appear in your life at the perfect time. This is the magic of living from the state of your wish fulfilled. But remember, this magic is not something external to you. It is not some cosmic force that you need to appease or manipulate. It is the natural expression of your own consciousness. When it is aligned with truth, you are the magic, you are the miracle, you are the creative power you've been seeking. As we draw our discussion to a close, I want to leave you with a powerful practice that will help you embody this principle of stop chasing it. Let it come to you. This practice is simple, yet profound in its effects. Each night as you lay in your bed, just before you drift off to sleep, enter into a state of deep relaxation. In this relaxed state, imagine a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Make it as vivid and real as possible. Engage all your senses. Feel the emotions you would feel if your desire were already realized. As you fall asleep in this state, you are impressing this new concept of self upon your subconscious mind. You are planting a seed in fertile soil, a seed that will grow and blossom into your physical reality. Do this night after night with faith and persistence. Do not be concerned with the how or when of your desire's manifestation. Your job is not to figure out how it will happen. Your job is simply to assume the state of your wish fulfilled and to live from that state. During your waking hours, whenever you catch yourself slipping into the old habit of chasing, gently bring yourself back to this state of fulfillment. Remind yourself that what you seek is already yours in consciousness, and that the outer world must conform to this inner reality. As you practice this, you will begin to feel a shift within you, a sense of peace, of certainty, of knowing. This is the feeling of alignment with your true self, with the creative power of the universe. This feeling is your guide, your compass pointing you towards the realization of your desires. Trust this feeling, my friends. Trust the wisdom of your own consciousness, for it knows the perfect timing and the perfect way to bring your desires into manifestation. Your role is simply to maintain the state of your wish fulfilled, to live from the end, and to allow the universe to take care of the details. Remember, the outer world is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. As you change your inner state, as you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, the outer world must change to match this new vibration. This is not magic, it is law. The law of assumption, the fundamental principle that governs all of creation. As we continue to explore this profound truth, let us delve deeper into the practice of living from the end. This concept, my dear friends, is the key to effortless manifestation. When you live from the end, you are not hoping for a future event. You are experiencing it now in the realm of imagination, which is the true creative realm. Imagine for a moment that you are an actor in a play. The script has already been written, and you know with absolute certainty how the story ends. Would you fret and worry about the outcome? Would you chase after the conclusion? Of course not. You would simply play your part, moment by moment, secure in the knowledge of the final scene. This is how you must approach your life. Know the end, feel it, live it, breathe it. Then, from that state of knowing, live each day. This is not about pretending or forcing yourself to believe something. It's about tapping into the part of you that already has what you desire, that already is what you wish to be. When you truly grasp this, you'll understand why chasing is not only unnecessary but counterproductive. Chasing implies that what you want is somewhere out there, separate from you. But the truth is, everything you desire already exists within you in the infinite realm of possibility that is your consciousness. Let's take a moment to really let this sink in. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, feel yourself letting go of the need to chase, to strive, to struggle. Feel yourself sinking into a state of allowing, of knowing that what you desire is already yours. In this state of allowing, you become a magnet for your desires. You're no longer pushing against reality, trying to force it to conform to your wishes. Instead, you're aligning yourself with the natural flow of creation. You're becoming a channel through which your desires can easily manifest. But remember, this state of allowing is not a passive state. It requires active participation on your part. You must consciously choose moment by moment to live from the end, to feel the feelings, think the thoughts, and take the inspired actions of someone who already has what you desire. This might feel challenging at first, especially if you've been in the habit of chasing for a long time. You might find your mind wanting to slip back into old patterns of worry and lack. When this happens, don't fight it. Simply observe these thoughts and feelings, acknowledge them, and then gently guide your attention back to the state of your wish fulfilled. Think of it like training a puppy. When the puppy wanders off, you don't scold it or punish it. You simply gently bring it back to where you want it to be. Do the same with your mind. Each time you catch it wandering into thoughts of lack or separation from your desire, gently bring it back to the feeling of fulfillment, of already having what you want. As you practice this, you'll find that staying in the state of your wish fulfilled becomes easier and more natural. It becomes your default state, the lens through which you view and interact with the world. And as this happens, you'll start to notice changes in your outer world. These changes might be subtle at first. Perhaps you'll notice that people respond to you differently, or that opportunities you never noticed before suddenly seem to appear, or that solutions to problems come to you effortlessly. These are all signs that your inner shift is creating ripples in your outer reality. Don't discount these small changes. Celebrate them. See them as confirmation that the law is working, that your assumption is taking root. But don't become attached to them or anxiously look for them. Simply acknowledge them with gratitude and continue to live from your assumed state. As you persist in this practice, larger changes will begin to manifest. The full realization of your desire will unfold in ways that might surprise and delight you. But remember, the outer manifestation is not the goal. The goal is the state of consciousness from which your desire naturally flows. This is a crucial point, my friends. When you're truly living from the end, when you're fully embodying the state of your wish fulfilled, you no longer need the outer manifestation to feel complete. You're already whole, already fulfilled in your imagination. And paradoxically, it's in this state of completeness that your desires flow most easily into your experience. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Don't we need to do something to bring our desires into manifestation? And to this I say, yes, action is part of the process. But it's inspired action, not frantic doing. When you're living from the end, ideas and opportunities will naturally present themselves to you. You'll feel inspired to take certain actions, to move in certain directions. These actions won't feel like effort or struggle. They'll feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. This is the difference between chasing and allowing. When you're chasing, actions feel forced, stressful, born out of fear and lack. When you're allowing, actions flow naturally from your assumed state, guided by an inner wisdom that knows exactly how to bring your desires into manifestation. Consider the example of a tree once again. A tree doesn't chase after sunlight, water, or nutrients. It simply grows, naturally extending its branches towards the sun, its roots towards water and nutrients. It allows these elements to come to it, and in doing so, it fulfills its nature and purpose. You, my dear listeners, are no different. You are a divine creature, imbued with the same creative power that brings forth worlds. When you align yourself with this power, when you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you allow the universe to bring to you all that you need for the manifestation of your desires. But let me be clear, this allowing is not passive. It requires an active use of your imagination, a deliberate assumption of the state of your wish fulfilled. It requires faith, not blind faith in an external power, but faith in the creative power of your own consciousness. This faith is not about believing that your desire will manifest someday in the future. It's about believing that your desire is already yours in the realm of imagination, and that the outer world must inevitably conform to this inner reality. As you cultivate this faith, as you persist in your assumption, you'll begin to see evidence of your desire manifesting in your outer world. These signs may start small, an overt conversation that confirms your assumption, an unexpected opportunity that aligns with your desire, a shift in how others respond to you. Do not discount these signs, no matter how small they may seem, for they are confirmation that your inner world is indeed shaping your outer reality. They are breadcrumbs leading you to the full manifestation of your desire. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to address a common concern that arises when people first encounter this teaching. Many worry that if they stop chasing their desires and instead live from the end, they'll become complacent or lose their motivation. But I assure you, my friends, the opposite is true. When you're living from the end, when you're aligned with your true desires, you become more motivated, more inspired than ever before. But it's a different kind of motivation. It's not the frantic, anxious energy of someone desperately chasing a goal. It's the calm, confident energy of someone who knows their desire is already theirs. In this state, you take inspired action not because you feel you have to, but because you want to. You move through life with a sense of joy and anticipation, eager to see how your inner state will manifest in your outer world. This is the true gift of letting go of the chase. It's not just about manifesting specific desires, although that will happen. It's about aligning yourself with the flow of life, with the creative power of the universe. It's about recognizing your own divine nature and allowing it to express itself fully through you. In this state of alignment, of allowing, you become a channel for the infinite possibilities of the universe. Ideas flow to you effortlessly. Opportunities present themselves naturally. The right people and circumstances appear in your life at the perfect time. This is the magic of living from the state of your wish fulfilled. But remember, this magic is not something external to you. It's not some cosmic force that you need to appease or manipulate. It is the natural expression of your own consciousness when it's aligned with truth. You are the magic. You are the miracle. You are the creative power you've been seeking. As we draw our time together to a close, I want to leave you with a final thought. The principle we've explored tonight, stop chasing it. Let it come to you, is not just a technique for manifesting desires. It's a way of life. It's about recognizing your true nature as a divine, creative being. It's about aligning yourself with the fundamental laws of the universe. When you live from this understanding, everything changes. The world becomes a friendly place filled with infinite possibilities. You no longer see yourself as a small, separate being struggling against external forces. Instead, you recognize yourself as the creator of your reality, the author of your life story. In this state, there's no need to chase anything, for you understand that everything you desire is already within you, waiting to be expressed. Your job is simply to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, to live from the end, and to allow the universe to take care of the details. So, my dear friends, as you leave here tonight, I urge you to let go of the chase. Stop pursuing, stop striving, stop efforting. Instead, turn within. Use your mighty imagination to assume the state of your wish fulfilled. Feel the naturalness of being or having what you desire. Live from this state. Persist in this assumption and watch as the universe rearranges itself to match your inner vision. Remember, you are not a helpless being pushed around by external circumstances. You are the operant power in your world. Your consciousness is the one only reality. All things are possible to him who believes, for belief shapes reality. Go forth from here with this knowledge. Apply it in your life. Test it, prove it to yourself. For in doing so, you'll discover the truth of who you really are. You'll tap into the limitless power that has always been within you. And you'll experience the joy, the freedom, the fulfillment that comes from living in alignment with the laws of creation. The world is waiting for you, my friends, not as something to be chased, but as something to be embraced. It's waiting for you to recognize your true power, to step into your divine nature, to become the person you're meant to be. So stop chasing, start being. Let your desires come to you, for in truth, they are already yours. All you need to do is open your arms, open your heart, and receive them. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is within you. The power to shape your reality is within you. You are the miracle you've been waiting for. Embrace this truth, live from it, and watch as your world transforms before your eyes. Good night, my dear friends, and may your dreams know your assumptions become your reality. Now let us delve into the depths of this concept, for it is not merely a phrase of encouragement, but a fundamental truth of the universe itself. You see, in this vast cosmos, in this grand tapestry of existence, you are both the creator and the creation. Your journey, your struggles, your aspirations, they are all part of a divine plan, a plan that you yourself have set in motion. When I say, please keep going, you're so close, I am not speaking of a physical distance or a tangible goal. No, my dear friends, I am speaking of a state of consciousness, a realm of being that exists within you at this very moment. It is a state of perfection, of completion, of absolute fulfillment. And you are so much closer to it than you can possibly imagine. Consider for a moment the nature of your desires. Whatever it is that you seek, be it love, abundance, health, or success, know that these desires are not random occurrences. They are not whims or fancies that float aimlessly in your mind. No, they are seeds planted by the divine within you, seeds that contain within them the very essence of their fulfillment. When you feel a burning desire for something, when you can taste it, touch it, feel it in your imagination, know that you are experiencing the end result in a dimension beyond the physical. In that moment of imagining, you are living from the end. You are experiencing the fulfillment of your desire in the only place it can truly exist, in your consciousness. So why, you may ask, do we sometimes feel stuck? Why does it seem that our desires are far from our grasp? The answer, my friends, lies in our perception of time and space. We have been conditioned to believe in a linear progression of events, in a world of cause and effect, where our desires must be pursued, chased, and conquered. But I tell you this, the world you see around you is nothing but a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. The events and circumstances of your life are not happening to you, they are happening from you. They are the outpicturing of your consciousness, the manifestation of your dominant thoughts and beliefs. When I urge you to keep going, I am not asking you to struggle or to fight against the current of life. No, I am inviting you to persist in your assumption of the wish fulfilled. I am asking you to continue living from the end, to maintain that feeling of your desire already being a reality. You see, the bridge of incidents that leads to the manifestation of your desire in the physical world is not built by your hands. It is constructed by a power far greater than your conscious mind can comprehend. This power, which some call God, others call the subconscious, and I often refer to as your wonderful human imagination, knows the perfect way to bring about the fulfillment of your desire. Your only task, your sole responsibility, is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to live in the end, to experience in your imagination the joy, the satisfaction, the absolute knowing that your desire is already yours. And in doing so, you set in motion forces beyond your comprehension, forces that will move heaven and earth to bring about the manifestation of your assumption. Now let us ponder for a moment on the concept of being so close in the world of Chiza. In the realm of physical senses, closeness is measured by distance and time. But in the realm of consciousness, in the dimension of imagination, there is no distance, no time, no separation between you and your desire. In fact, the very existence of your desire is proof of its fulfillment. For how could you desire something if it did not already exist in a dimension beyond the physical? Your desire is a glimpse into the infinite possibilities that exist in the realm of pure potential. It is a call from your future self, inviting you to step into that reality. So when I say you're so close, I am reminding you of this truth, that in consciousness, in the only place that truly matters, you are already one with your desire. You are not moving towards it. You are moving from it. Every moment that you maintain the assumption of your wish fulfilled, you are strengthening that reality, making it more and more dominant in your consciousness until it has no choice but to reflect in your physical experience. My dear friends, understand this, the world of Caesar, the world of physical senses, is always secondary. It is always a reflection, a shadow of your inner world. Your true power lies not in manipulating external circumstances, but in controlling your inner conversations, your mental diet, your assumptions about yourself and the world around you. When you find yourself doubting, when the physical world seems to contradict your desire, remember this. What you are seeing is the shadow of past thoughts and beliefs. It is the harvest of seeds planted in the past. But in this moment right now, you have the power to plant new seeds, to assume a new state, to live from the end of your desire fulfilled. The feeling of being close, of being on the verge of a breakthrough, is not something to be sought externally. It is a state to be assumed, a feeling to be inhabited. When you truly understand this, when you grasp the immense power of your imagination, you will realize that you are never far from your desire. You are always just one assumption away from living in the end. Consider the story of the Israelites wandering in the desert for 40 years. They were always just on the outskirts of the promised land, always so close, yet their doubts, their fears, their inability to assume the state of already being in the land of milk and honey kept them wandering. But the moment they assumed the state of being in the promised land, the moment they lived from that assumption, the walls of Jericho fell, and they entered into their inheritance. You, my dear listener, are in a similar position. The promised land of your fulfilled desire is not a physical place, but a state of consciousness, and you are always just one assumption away from entering it. The walls that seem to separate you from your desire are not made of stone and mortar, but of beliefs and assumptions. And they must fall, when you assume the state of your wish fulfilled. So I implore you, please keep going. Not in the sense of struggling or striving, but in the sense of persisting in your assumption. Keep going in living from the end. Keep going in feeling the reality of your desire fulfilled. For you are so close, closer than you can possibly imagine. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is within you. The fulfillment of all your desires exists within you right now. It is not something to be attained, but something to be realized, to be assumed, to be lived from. And as you persist in this assumption, as you continue to live from the end, you will find that the outer world has no choice but to conform to your inner conviction. Now let us delve deeper into the mechanics of this process, for understanding is the first step towards mastery. When you imagine your desire fulfilled, when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are literally rearranging the substance of the universe. You are impressing upon the subconscious mind a new concept of self, a new pattern that it must outpicture in your physical reality. The subconscious mind, you see, is the creative power of the universe. It is God in action. It knows no limitations, no impossibilities. It does not question or analyze. It simply accepts and expresses what is impressed upon it. And what is impressed upon it most dominantly? Your assumptions, your inner conversations, your mental diet. When you consistently assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you make it a habit to live from the end, you are feeding your subconscious mind with the seeds of your desire. And just as a seed planted in fertile soil must grow and express itself, so too must your assumption grow and express itself in your physical reality. But here's where many stumble, where many lose faith and give up just short of the finish line. You see, between the planting of the seed and the harvest, there is often a period of silence, a time when nothing seems to be happening. In the physical world, it may appear as though your desire is still far off, as though your efforts are in vain. This, my dear friends, is the true test of faith. This is where I implore you to keep going, for you are so close. This period of apparent inactivity is not a sign of failure. It is the gestation period of your desire. Just as a pregnant woman does not doubt the reality of the child growing within her womb, even though she cannot see it, so too must you not doubt the reality of your desire growing in the womb of your subconscious mind. During this time, it is crucial that you maintain your assumption. Do not waver, do not doubt, do not give in to the evidence of your physical senses. For remember, what you are seeing in the outer world is the shadow of past thoughts and beliefs. It is the harvest of seeds planted in the past. But in this moment, right now, you are planting new seeds. You are assuming a new state. And if you persist, if you keep going, you will see the manifestation of this new state. Think of it like this. Imagine you are in a dark room and you've just turned on the light. For a moment, your eyes may still see darkness. But does that mean the light isn't on? Of course not. There's simply a brief delay between the action of turning on the light and your eyes adjusting to perceive it. Your manifestation works in much the same way. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, it is done. The light is on. Your only task is to persist in this assumption until your physical senses catch up to this new reality. Now let me share with you a powerful technique to help you persist in your assumption, to keep going when doubt and fear try to creep in. It's a technique I call living in the end, and it's as simple as it is profound. Each night, as you lay down to sleep, and each morning as you wake, take a few moments to imagine a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Make this scene as vivid and as real as you possibly can. Engage all your senses. If your desire is for a loving relationship, feel the warmth of your loved one's embrace. If it's for financial abundance, feel the crisp notes in your hands, smell the leather of your new car, hear the congratulations of your friends on your frock. If it's for perfect health, feel the vitality in your body, the ease of movement, the joy of boundless energy. Live in this scene, immerse yourself in it completely. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the absolute knowing that your desire is now a reality. And as you drift off to sleep, or as you start your day, carry this feeling with you. Let it color your perceptions, let it inform your actions, let it become your new reality. You see, my dear friends, your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience in the physical world. By living in the end in your imagination, you are literally experiencing the fulfillment of your desire. And your subconscious mind, accepting this as reality, will work tirelessly to bring about the circumstances that match this new self-concept. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, I've been doing this and still my desire hasn't manifested. How long must I keep going? And to you I say this: as long as it takes. For time is a construct of the human mind, a convenience for organizing our physical experiences. In the realm of consciousness, in the dimension where all possibilities exist, there is no time. Your desire is not something to be achieved in the future. It is a state to be assumed now. The moment you genuinely assume the feeling of the wish fulfillment, it is done. The seed is planted. And just as you wouldn't dig up a seed to see if it's growing, do not constantly check your physical reality to see if your desire has manifested. Trust in the law, have faith in the process, and keep going. Remember, you're so close. Closer than you can possibly imagine. For in truth, there is no distance between you and your desire. The only separation is in your mind, in your assumption of lack or limitation. The moment you drop these limiting beliefs, the moment you fully assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you will find that your desire has been there all along, waiting for you to claim it. Consider the story of the prodigal son. He left his father's house, wandered in a far country, experienced lack and limitation. But the moment he remembered who he truly was, the moment he assumed his rightful place as the beloved son, he found that the abundance of his father's house had been there all along. He didn't have to earn it or achieve it. He simply had to claim it, to assume it, to live from it. You, my dear listener, are in the same position. The abundance, the love, the health, the success you desire, it's all there in your Father's house, in the realm of pure potential. You don't have to earn it or achieve it. You simply have to assume it, to live from it, to keep going in the absolute conviction that it is already yours. Now let me address another common stumbling block. Many of you may be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Don't I need to do something to make my desire a reality? And to this I say action is important. But it's not the cause of your manifestation, it's the effect. When you truly assume the state of the wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, you will find yourself naturally inspired to take the right actions. These actions will not feel like struggle or effort. They will feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. For you will be acting not from a place of lack or need, but from a place of abundance and fulfillment. Think of it like this. If you were already the person who has what you desire, how would you act? What decisions would you make? How would you carry yourself? This is the kind of action I'm talking about. It's not about forcing yourself to do things you think you should do. It's about naturally embodying the state of your wish fulfilled in every aspect of your life. And here's a crucial point. Even as you take inspired action, do not fall into the trap of thinking that these actions are the cause of your manifestation. The cause is always your assumption, your state of consciousness. The actions are simply the bridge of incidents that your subconscious mind constructs to lead you to the fulfillment. So please keep going. Keep assuming the state of the wish fulfilled. Keep living from the end. For you are so close, so incredibly close to the manifestation of your desire. The only thing standing between you and your desire is your assumption of separation from it. Drop that assumption, and you will find that what you seek has been seeking you all along. Now, let me share with you another powerful technique to help you persist in your assumption, to keep going when the world of Caesar seems to contradict your desire. It's a technique I call revision, and it's a way of rewriting your past to align with your desired future. You see, many of us carry the weight of past failures, disappointments, and negative experiences. These memories can act as barriers, preventing us from fully assuming the state of our wish fulfilled. But here's the truth. The past only exists in your memory. And memory, my dear friends, is imagination applied to the past. Just as you can imagine a desired future, you can reimagine your past. And in doing so, you can remove the mental blocks that stand between you and your desire. Here's how it works. Each night, before you sleep, review the events of your day. But instead of accepting them as they appear to happen, revise them. Reimagine them in a way that aligns with your desire, with the person you want to be. If someone was rude to you, revise the scene. Imagine them being kind and respectful. If you made a mistake at work, revise it. See yourself performing flawlessly. If you received bad news, revise it. Hear yourself receiving good news instead. This is not about denying reality or living in fantasy. It's about understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. And by changing your inner world, your memorials, your assumptions, your self-concept, you change the reflection. As you practice revision consistently, you'll find that your past no longer has power over you. You'll be free to fully assume the state of your wish fulfilled without the weight of past failures holding you back. And remember, you're revising not just for a better feeling, but to impress upon your subconscious mind a new concept of self, a new pattern that it must express in your future experiences. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, this all sounds too good to be true. Surely it can't be this simple, and to you I say it is this simple. But that doesn't mean it's always easy. The simplicity of the law often becomes a stumbling block for those who are used to struggle and complexity. You see, we've been conditioned to believe that anything worthwhile must be difficult to attain. We've been taught that success requires hard work, sacrifice, and often a bit of luck. But I tell you this, the only hard work required is the work of changing your assumptions, of disciplining your mind to consistently assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This inner work, this mental discipline, can indeed be challenging. It requires vigilance, persistence, and faith. But compared to the endless struggle of trying to change the outer world without first changing your inner world, it is infinitely easier and more effective. So please keep going. Keep doing this inner work. Keep assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, for you are so close, so incredibly close to the tipping point, to the moment when your assumption becomes your reality. Remember, every moment is a new opportunity to assume the state of your wish fulfilled. Every breath is a chance to live from the end. Don't wait for the perfect moment, for the stars to align, for all conditions to be favorable. The perfect moment is now. The power is within you always. Now, let me address another common concern. Many of you may be wondering, but Neville, what if I have multiple desires? Should I focus on one at a time, or can I manifest multiple things simultaneously? To this I say, you are not limited in your ability to manifest. The power of your wonderful human imagination is infinite. Just as the sun shines on all things equally without diminishing its light, so too can you assume the fulfillment of multiple desires without diluting your creative power. The key is to understand that all your desires, no matter how varied they may seem, stem from one fundamental desire. The desire to experience a greater expression of your true self. Whether you desire love, wealth, health, or success, what you're really seeking is a fuller expression of who you truly are. So instead of thinking of your desires as separate goals to be achieved, think of them as different aspects of your ideal self it assumes. Create in your imagination a version of yourself that embodies all these desires fulfilled. See yourself as the person who has the loving relationship, the financial abundance, the vibrant health, the successful career. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the peace that comes from being this ideal version of yourself. Make this your new self-concept. Live from this state, and you will find that all your desires begin to manifest, not as separate achievements, but as natural expressions of who you have become. Remember, the outer world is always a reflection of your inner state. As you assume this new ideal self-concept, your outer world must rearrange itself to match this inner reality. It has no choice. It is law. Now, I want to address a question that often arises when one begins to understand the power of their imagination. Many ask, but Neville, if my imagination creates reality, why do bad things happen? Why is there suffering in the world? This is a profound question, and it touches on the very nature of our existence. You see, the power of imagination is indeed absolute, but it operates according to our assumptions and beliefs, both conscious and unconscious. Many of us, without realizing it, hold beliefs of limitation, lack, and separation. We accept as reality a world of conflict, scarcity, and suffering. And in doing so, we perpetuate these conditions. But here's the liberating truth. Just as we have imagined these conditions of being, we can imagine them out of existence. The suffering we see in the world is not a fixed, unchangeable reality. It is a shadow, a reflection of humanity's collective assumptions and beliefs. As you awaken to the power of your imagination, as you begin to consciously create your reality, you become a beacon of light in this world. Your own transformation, your own shift from limitation to abundance, from fear to love, has a ripple effect that goes far beyond your individual life. So please keep going, not just for yourself, but for all of humanity. As you persist in assuming the state of your wish fulfilled, as you continue to live from the end, you are contributing to a collective shift in consciousness. You are playing your part in creating a world that reflects the highest and best in all of us. Remember, you're so close to fully realizing your power as a creative being, so close to stepping into the fullness of who you truly are, so close to becoming a conscious co-creator of your reality. Now, let me share with you one more powerful concept that will help you persist in your assumption, that will give you the strength to keep going, even when the outer world seems to contradict your desire. It's the concept of the Sabbath. In the biblical tradition, the Sabbath is a day of rest, a day when all work ceases. But in the context of conscious creation, the Sabbath takes on a deeper meaning. It represents a state of mind, a state of complete assurance and peace, knowing that your desire is already fulfilled. You enter the Sabbath when you no longer feel the need to do anything to achieve your desire, when you can completely let go, knowing with absolute certainty that what you've imagined is already done. This is the ultimate act of faith, the purest expression of living in the end. Entering the Sabbath doesn't mean you stop taking inspired action in your daily life. It means you stop striving. You stop trying to make your desire happen through force of will. You simply rest in the knowledge that it is done, allowing the infinite intelligence of your subconscious mind to bring about the manifestation in the most perfect way. This state of Sabbath, of complete rest and assurance, is the most powerful state you can assume. For in this state, you are fully aligned with the creative power of the universe. You are one with the source of all manifestation. So I urge you, enter the Sabbath. Rest from your labors. Know that your desire is already fulfilled. Feel the peace, the joy, the absolute certainty of this knowing. And from this state of complete assurance, watch as your outer world transforms to match your inner conviction. My dear friends, as we draw this discourse to a close, I want to remind you once more, please keep going. You're so close. Closer than you can possibly imagine to the realization of your desires, to the full expression of your true self, to the creation of a life beyond your wildest dreams. Remember, the power is within you. It always has been, and it always will be. Your wonderful human imagination is the very workshop of creation. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, use it persistently. For as you assume, so shall it be. Go forth now with this knowledge burning brightly in your heart. Live from the end, persist in your assumption. Enter the Sabbath of complete assurance, and know with every fiber of your being that your desire is already fulfilled, that you are already the person you wish to be, that you already have everything you seek. For in truth, there is no separation between you and your desire. There never was. The only separation was in your mind, in your assumption. And now that you know the truth, now that you understand the power of your imagination, that separation dissolves. So please keep going, keep assuming, keep believing, keep living from the end. For you are so close, so incredibly close to the full realization of your power, to the complete manifestation of your desires, to the perfect expression of your true self. And in this realization, in this manifestation, in this expression, you will find not just the fulfillment of your individual desires, but the key to transforming our entire world. For as you change your concept of self, as you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you become a living example of what's possible. You become a light in the darkness, a beacon of hope and possibility for all who cross your path. So go forth, my dear friends, with this knowledge, with this power, with this responsibility. Keep going, for you are so close to becoming who you truly are, so close to creating the life you desire, so close to changing the world through the power of your imagination. Remember, it is done. It is finished. Your desire is already fulfilled in the realm of pure potential. Your only task now is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to live from the end, to enter the Sabbath of complete assurance. Do this, persist in this, and watch as your world transforms before your very eyes. For you are the operant power. You are the creative force. You are the God in action, creating your reality moment by moment through the power of your assumptions. Embrace this truth, live this truth, become this truth. And so, my beloved listeners, I leave you with these final words. Please keep going. You're so close. The fulfillment of your desires, the realization of your dreams, the expression of your true self. It's all right there waiting for you to claim it. Step into it now with faith, with conviction, with the absolute knowing that it is already yours. For in the end, and in the beginning, and in every moment in between, you are the creator of your reality. You are the author of your story. You are the master of your fate. So write boldly, create fearlessly, and live fully from the state of your wish fulfilled. Keep going, for you are so close, so incredibly, wonderfully, miraculously close. The life you desire is not a distant dream. It is your present reality, waiting for you to fully step into it. So step now, leap now. Embrace now the truth of who you are and what you're capable of creating. For in this moment, and in every moment, you are unlimited, unbounded, infinite in your potential. You are the power you seek, the love you desire, the abundance you crave. It's all within you. Always has been, always will be. So please keep going, for you are so close to the full realization of your divine nature, so close to the complete expression of your infinite potential, so close to the perfect manifestation of your heart's deepest desires. Keep going, for in your persistence lies your power. In your assumption lies your achievement. In your imagination lies your infinite potential. You are so close, closer than you've ever been, closer than you can possibly imagine. The fulfillment of your desires is not a distant goal. It is your present reality. Step into it now. Embrace it now. Live from it now. For you are the creator, the created, and the very act of creation itself. In you, all things are possible. Through you, all dreams come true. As you, all desires are fulfilled. So please keep going. You're so close, so incredibly, miraculously, wonderfully close. The life you desire is not waiting for you in some distant future. It is here now, waiting for you to claim it. Claim it now. Live it now. Be it now. For you are so close to the full realization of your power, so close to the complete manifestation of your desires, so close to the perfect expression of your true self. Keep going. Keep believing. Keep assuming. Keep living from the end. For you are so close, so incredibly, unimaginably close. And in this closeness, in this proximity to your fulfilled desire, you will find not just the realization of your individual dreams, but the key to transforming our entire world. For as you step into the fullness of who you truly are, as you fully embody the state of your wish fulfilled, you become a living testament to the power that lies within each and every one of us. So please keep going, for you are so close to becoming the change you wish to see in the world, so close to inspiring others through your own transformation, so close to creating a ripple effect of positive change that will touch countless lives. Remember, the power is within you. It always has been, and it always will be. Your wonderful human imagination is the very workshop of creation. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, use it persistently. For as you assume, so shall it be. Go forth now with this knowledge burning brightly in your heart. Live from the end, persist in your assumption, enter the Sabbath of complete assurance, and know with every fiber of your being that your desire is already fulfilled, that you are already the person you wish to be, that you already have everything you seek. For in truth, there is no separation between you and your desire. There never was. The only separation was in your mind, in your assumption. And now that you know the truth, now that you understand the power of your imagination, that separation dissolves. So please keep going, keep assuming, keep believing, keep living from the end. For you are so close, so incredibly close to the full realization of your power, to the complete manifestation of your desires, to the perfect expression of your true self. And in this realization, in this manifestation, in this expression, you will find not just the fulfillment of your individual desires, but the key to transforming our entire world. For as you change your concept of self, as you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you become a living example of what's possible. You become a light in the darkness, a beacon of hope and possibility for all who cross your path. So go forth, my dear friends, with this knowledge, with this power, with this responsibility. Keep going, for you are so close to becoming who you truly are, so close to creating the life you desire, so close to changing the world through the power of your imagination. Let me tell you a marvelous thing. Your consciousness, your I amness, is the only reality. Everything that you perceive in your world, everything that you experience in your daily life, is but an expression of your consciousness made manifest. the art of mental discipline. Tonight I shall share with you how to master the divine art of mental discipline. For you see, your thoughts are not mere passive occurrences in your mind. They are living, breathing seeds that must inevitably grow into the circumstances of your life. Let us begin with a fundamental truth. Every moment of your life you are thinking. But are you thinking from the end? Are you thinking from the state of your wish fulfilled? This is the crux of mental discipline, the law of consciousness. I want you to understand this profound truth. Whatever you are conscious of being, you become. This is the law, and it cannot fail. If you persist in maintaining a particular state in your consciousness, it must externalize itself in your world. It must, for this is the law. Consider this. When you go to your bedroom tonight, you will naturally assume that you are in your bed. You don't hope you're in your bed. You don't wish you were in your bed. You simply are in your bed. This is the naturalness I speak of. This is the state of consciousness that creates the 4 pillars of mental discipline. Let me share with you what I call the 4 pillars of mental discipline. These are the fundamental principles that will allow you to master your thoughts and therefore master your life. First pillar, the state of I am. Your I am is your consciousness, your true self. Whatever follows your I am, you become. When you say I'm tired, you become tired. When you say I am wealthy, you become wealthy. The I am in you is God himself. And whatever you attach to it becomes your reality. Practice this throughout your day. Become aware of what you're attaching to your I am. Are you saying I am sick? I am broke? I am unlucky? Change these statements. Begin to attach to your I am only what you wish to be true. Second pillar, living from the end. This is crucial, my dear friends. You must learn to think and feel from the end. What do I mean by this? I mean, you must assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. If you desire wealth, you must think from wealth, not about wealth. Let me give you an example. Suppose you desire to be a successful author. Don't think about becoming an author. Instead, assume the feeling of being a successful author now. How would you feel? What would you think? How would you walk? How would you talk? Assume that state now. Third pillar, the law of revision. Here is a wonderful technique I've used countless times. At the end of each day, before you sleep, revise the events that didn't go as you wished. See them play out exactly as you would have wanted them to occur. You see, memory is imagination. The past exists only in your mind, and you can revise it. By revising the day's events, you're actually restructuring your consciousness, which will then create new and better circumstances in your future. Fourth pillar, persistent assumption. Now let me share with you something profound about persistence. It's not enough to imagine your desire once or twice. You must persist in your assumption until it hardens into fact. Think of it like this. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You water it, you tend to it, and you trust in the law of growth. The same is true with your thoughts. The practice of mental discipline. Let me now share with you the practical application of these principles. This is how you discipline your thoughts in your daily life. Morning practice. When you wake in the morning before you rise from your bed, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Feel the naturalness of having what you desire. Don't just visualize it, feel it. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the completeness of having your desire fulfilled. Daytime vigilance. Throughout your day, watch your mental diet. Your thoughts are like food for your consciousness. Would you eat spoiled food? Then why feed your mind with negative thoughts? When a negative thought arises, don't fight it. Simply replace it with its positive opposite. Remember, what you resist persists. What you accept and replace dissolves. Evening revision. Before sleep, review your day. But don't review it as it happened. Review it as you would have wanted it to happen. This is the art of revision, and it's one of the most powerful tools you possess. The power of feeling. Let me share something crucial about feeling. It's not enough to simply think the right thoughts. You must feel them to be true. The feeling is the secret. When you combine thought with feeling, you create with the full power of your consciousness. Feel the reality of your desire now. Feel its naturalness. Feel as though it were already accomplished. For in truth, in the realm of consciousness, it is already accomplished. Overcoming mental resistance. Now, you might experience resistance when you begin this practice. Your rational mind might say, this isn't true. This isn't real. But remember, your rational mind can only tell you what has been, not what can be. The secret is to persist despite the evidence of your senses. Your senses show you the world as it was created by your past thoughts. Your imagination shows you the world as it can be, created by your disciplined thoughts. The power of silent awareness. Here's a wonderful practice I want to share with you. Throughout your day, take moments of silent awareness. Become conscious of your I amness. Feel your existence, your beingness. From this state of pure awareness, you can more easily direct your thoughts. The art of mental construction. Think of your mind as a magnificent mansion. Each thought is a room in this mansion. Through mental discipline, you become the architect of this mansion. You decide which rooms to build, which to renovate, and which to demolish. When you catch yourself in a negative thought, say to yourself, this is not the room I choose to dwell in. Then consciously construct a new thought, a new room furnished with your desires fulfilled. The practice of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool for mental discipline. When you feel grateful for something, you're acknowledging its reality in your consciousness. Practice feeling grateful for your desires as though they were already fulfilled. The law of assumption in action. Let me share with you a principle that never fails. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and then live and act from that assumption. This is the secret of mental discipline, to think, feel, and act from the end. If you desire wealth, assume the feeling of wealth now. How does a wealthy person think? How does a wealthy person feel? Assume that state and maintain it despite all evidence to the contrary. The power of your mental diet. Just as you carefully choose what food you eat, choose your thoughts with equal care. Your mental diet determines your life experience. Feed your mind with thoughts of success, love, abundance, and joy. When negative thoughts arise, and they will, don't fight them. Simply observe them and let them pass like clouds in the sky. Then consciously choose better thoughts. The practice of mental discipline. Throughout your day, practice these principles. Watch your I am statements. Think from the end. Revise unwanted events. Persist in your assumption. Maintain a healthy mental diet. Practice gratitude. Stay in silent awareness. Remember, your consciousness is the only reality. Everything in your world is a reflection of your consciousness. By disciplining your thoughts, you literally reshape your world. Concluding words. My dear friends, remember this. You are the operant power in your world. Your consciousness creates your reality. By disciplining your thoughts, you're not just changing your mind, you're changing your entire world. Practice these principles. Apply them diligently. For when you master the art of mental discipline, you master the art of living itself. Let me tell you a story that illustrates this principle perfectly. Recently, a lady came to me in despair about her financial situation. She had been thinking thoughts of lack, of poverty, of not enough. I asked her to do something that seemed radical at the time, to completely ignore the evidence of her senses and instead live in the assumption of wealth. The continuous state of awareness. You see, mental discipline isn't something you practice for an hour and then abandon. It must become your continuous state of awareness. When you wake in the morning, your first thought should be from the state of your wish fulfilled. When you walk down the street, walk as the person you wish to be. When you speak, speak from the consciousness of your desire achieved. The secret of mental persistence. Here's a wonderful secret. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what you're imagining and what's real. When you persist in maintaining a disciplined thought pattern, your subconscious mind must accept it as fact. And what the subconscious accepts, it must externalize in your world. The 3 states of thought. Consider these 3 states of thought. the surface thoughts. These are your casual, everyday thoughts that flow through your mind like leaves on a stream. The intermediate thoughts. These are your more deliberate thoughts, the ones you consciously choose to think. The deep, persistent thoughts. These are the thoughts that you have impressed upon your subconscious through repetition and feeling. Your work is to move your desired thoughts from the surface level to the deep level through conscious discipline and persistence. The art of mental rehearsal. Practice this technique. Before any important event in your life, rehearse it mentally from the end. See it completed perfectly. Feel the satisfaction of its perfect completion. Do this repeatedly until it feels natural and real to you. The power of I remember when. Here's another powerful technique for thought discipline. Instead of saying I want or I will, use the phrase one remember when. For example, instead of saying I want to be wealthy, say I remember when I was struggling financially before I became wealthy. This puts your mind in the position of looking back on the fulfillment of your desire, rather than looking forward to it. It's a subtle but powerful shift in consciousness. The silent knowing. Develop what I call the silent knowing. This is a state of absolute certainty about your desire's fulfillment. It's not hoping, not wishing, not wanting. It's knowing. This knowing comes from disciplined thought focused on the end result. The practice of mental cleansing. Just as you cleanse your body, you must cleanse your mind. Each night before sleep, review your thoughts of the day. Which ones serve your desired end? Which ones oppose it? Consciously release the opposing thoughts and strengthen the supporting ones. The law of dual thought. Remember this principle: you cannot hold two opposing thoughts simultaneously. When you find yourself thinking an unwanted thought, immediately replace it with its positive opposite. This is mental discipline in action. The final key. And now, my dear wonderful friends, let me give you the final key to mastering your thoughts. Is this: love your present reality while simultaneously dwelling in your desired state. This seems paradoxical, but it's crucial for successful mental discipline. Don't hate where you are while trying to get where you want to be. Instead, appreciate your current reality while knowing, absolutely knowing, that your desired state is already yours in consciousness. The promise. I promise you this: if you will discipline your thoughts as I have outlined tonight, if you will persist in maintaining the consciousness of your wish fulfilled, if you will live from the end rather than toward it, your world must conform to your disciplined imagination. For this is the law of consciousness: whatever you assume to be true, whatever you persist in believing, must become your reality. The daily application. My dear friends, before you leave tonight, let me share with you something profound about the daily application of these principles. You see, mental discipline is not merely a practice, it is a way of life. The morning protocol. When you awaken each morning, before you even open your eyes, lie still in your bed and practice this protocol. First, feel your I am-ness. Feel your existence, your beingness. This is God within you, the only creative power there is. Then, from this state of pure awareness, consciously choose the thoughts you will entertain for the day. Remember, the first hour of your morning shapes the nature of your entire day. Guard these precious moments with complete awareness, the state akin to sleep. There's something marvelous about the moments just before sleep and just after waking. In these drowsy states, your subconscious mind is most receptive to new impressions. Use these golden moments wisely. In this state akin to sleep, impress upon your mind the absolute reality of your desire fulfilled. Feel it. Live it, be it. Let this be the last state of consciousness you experience before sleep claims you. The secret of mental posture. Consider your mental posture throughout the day. Just as your physical posture affects how you feel and perform, your mental posture determines what you attract and create. Stand tall in your mind. Walk through your day from the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. Speak, act, and respond to life from this elevated state of being. The art of mental forgetting. Here's a profound secret many miss. The art of mental discipline includes knowing what to forget. You must learn to forget the old story the old limitations, the old excuses. When the old story tries to assert itself, and it will, gently but firmly dismiss it. Say to yourself, that was then. This is now. I choose to dwell in the consciousness of my wish fulfilled. The power of repeated assumption. Let me share with you something crucial about mental discipline. It's not enough to assume your desire once or twice. You must live in that assumption until it becomes your dominant feeling. Think of it like this. When you move to a new home, at first it feels strange, unfamiliar. But through continued living there, it becomes natural, familiar, yours. The same principle applies to your new mental state. The practice of mental fidelity. Be faithful to your disciplined thoughts as you would be faithful to a beloved spouse. Don't flirt with negative thoughts. Don't entertain doubts. Stay true to your chosen state of consciousness. Remember, what you are faithful to, you create. What you are loyal to in consciousness must manifest in your world. The law of mental equivalence. Understanding this law is crucial. For every outer condition, there must be an inner equivalent. Your external world is simply the reflection of your disciplined or undisciplined thoughts. Want to change your outer world? Change your inner equivalent through disciplined thought and feeling. The Sabbath of the mind. Practice what I call the Sabbath of the mind. Periods throughout your day when you completely rest from effort and simply dwell in the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. These mental Sabbaths are crucial. They allow your new thoughts to take root and grow without the interference of doubt or anxiety. The power of mental conviction. Develop an unshakable conviction in the power of your disciplined thoughts. This conviction comes through practice and experience. Test these principles in small things first, then graduate to larger desires. Remember, the law works the same whether you're manifesting a parking space or a palace. The only difference is in your level of conviction. The art of mental acceptance. Accept, truly accept, that your consciousness is the only reality. Your world is simply consciousness objectified. Once you accept this truth, mental discipline becomes not just a practice but a joyous responsibility. The final practice. And now, my dear friends, let me give you one final practice before we part. Tonight, when you lay your head upon your pillow, do this. Feel the absolute reality of your desire fulfilled. Feel it with all your heart. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the satisfaction of having what you desire. Fall asleep in this feeling. For remember, the feeling is the secret. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is the secret of creation, the eternal truth. As we conclude this evening, remember this eternal truth. You are not seeking something outside yourself. You are simply selecting a state of consciousness to occupy. Through mental discipline, you choose which state you will dwell in. The promise renewed. I promise you this, practice these principles faithfully, maintain mental discipline consistently, and your world must by law conform to your disciplined imagination. For consciousness is the only reality, and your disciplined thoughts are the tools with which you shape that reality. The final word. Go forth tonight with this knowledge. You are not a helpless victim of your thoughts. You are the master of your mind, the author of your experience, the creator of your reality. Through disciplined thought, you can and will create the life you desire. Remember, your consciousness is God, and your disciplined imagination is your direct link to this infinite creative power. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and use it constantly. And now, as we conclude this evening, take a moment to feel the absolute reality of your desire fulfilled. Feel it with all your heart. Know it with all your being. For in this feeling and knowing lies the power that transforms your world. Test this law. Prove it to yourself. For in the testing lies your freedom, and in the proving lies your power. Thank you, and good night.